2010 AMA Supercross Series has become the property of young and hungry challengers. As the series comes to Daytona, these title contenders are chasing a special place in Supercross history. Tonight, they have the opportunity to join some of the sport's greatest names and capture the checkered flag at the world center of racing. The Daytona Supercross by Honda is set to start right now on Speed. The best Supercross racers in the world are ready to do battle at the most famous racetrack on the planet, the Daytona International Speedway. It's the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. The Daytona Supercross by Honda, round 9 of the 2010 season. Welcome to the Progressive Pre-Race Show. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen, alongside not only a former Supercross Series champion, but a former winner of the Daytona Supercross by Honda, Jeff Emmett. And this race is going to be very important in this championship because just a week ago, it looked like there was going to be a huge gap in the points as Ryan Dungey won in Atlanta. But Jeff, anything can happen at Daytona.
Well, it definitely can. And last week, it was really unpredictable to have Villopoto go down and lose all those points. And Dungey had a spectacular ride, took a commanding lead in the championship. But the one thing about 2010 is that it is unpredictable, and there's no place that signifies that more than the Supercross track here at Daytona Motor Speedway, because the track is very difficult every season.
And this one looks trickier than any we've seen in recent years. Now, adding to the drama here tonight is the fact that two-time series champion and a former winner here of this very race, Chad Reed, came out in practice for the first time since suffering his injury at Phoenix earlier this year. We weren't sure if Chad was going to ride, and with more on this story, here's Aaron Bates.
Chad Reed, a two-time Supercross champion and three-time Daytona Supercross winner. Chad, you made your way back here. It's been a long time since we've seen you out riding. You came into practice. How do you feel you fare against your competitors?
Practice went well. I had to be here to sign autographs, and to be completely honest, it's just getting really old watching. And, I've been back on the bike a little bit. This was my 5th time on the bike, and I just wanted to get out there and ride with the guys, and I felt like I fared pretty well, actually.
Are you 100% healthy coming in?
I would love to say yes, but, unfortunately, we're not quite there yet, and just trying to get my feet wet, feel it out, see where we're at, see what you need to work on, just have fun. I have 0 to gain from all of this and a lot to lose, so got to be smart.
Tell us about your crash that happened earlier in practice.
I just pretty much got into the jump and went to scrub, and then we changed up the bike actually a little bit, and that was the character of the bike. It just kind of was unloading a little bit on unexpected times, and it just caught me off guard a little bit. So all good. I kept all my hands off the ground and didn't hurt myself.
Coming into today, it was undecided whether or not you're going to race this evening. What's the verdict?
I wish I could say I'm going to go or I'm not going to go. I'm still, on the fence a little bit. And like I said, I really just got to weigh up my options. I love this place. I believe that I have a shot at the podium. But it's a brutal place, and you really, really got to respect it. And so just be smart and try and bite my time, not let my pride get in the way here. I want to be out there. I'm a racer. I love it and enjoy it, and I want to be out there, but got to be smart as well.
Next week?
Hopefully. That's the goal. Worst case scenario, I don't race tonight, then we'll be back in Toronto.
Chad Reed, he might be out of title contention, but he'll be back soon enough to mix it up.
Well, there's going to be a lot of drama tonight, and we'll follow that Chad Reed story as it develops as to whether or not he races here tonight at Daytona, a track he loves to compete at. Now, the other racing we'll see here tonight is the Supercross Lights class, and it looks like, Jeff, that Christophe Marcel, the French rider, is going to be the guy to beat all season long. Anybody you think can hang with him here in Daytona?
Well, certainly, last week at Atlanta, Justin Barsha, Austin Stroop, incredible rides by both of those young men. Metcalf is in there. you know, Porcel was really fast and really smooth, and he bounced around this really rough Daytona track with ease. But I really feel that Stroop and Barsha, they showed me that they're hungry and that they're not afraid of Porcel, and they're ready to take a win at any time. So could Daytona be the night? We're going to see here in just a little bit.
Well, our buddy and broadcast colleague Ricky Carmichael once again designed the track here at Daytona. How do you think it turned out this year?
Well, it's very fast. Lap times just a little bit over a minute. As usual, the clay jumps mixed in with the grass and then the soft sand are going to make it really difficult. And as you get through some of these rhythm sections, you know, as the night goes on, the track changes so much. At this long straightaway all the way down pit lane has got so many obstacles that were really challenging the riders. A lot of risk here tonight also. As you come back around by the front straight, there's some really deep holes. And actually, this next whoop section that we see here, instead of those being made of clay, those are made of sand, so the track really deteriorates and it's going to change.
Well, a spectacular racetrack here in the Tri-Oval at Daytona, and spectacular opening ceremonies as well here at the Daytona International Speedway. We'll be racing from the World Center of Racing in Bike Week after this. Well, the fans are ready. The Daytona Supercross by Honda all set to go. They are enthusiastic and chilled because it is very cold out there tonight.
But I'm telling you, the fans here were incredible. I mean, walking through the pits, you know, I mean, they were just so, like you said, enthusiastic. They wanted autographs. They were just really were into the Supercross spirit here.
Here's what we got in store for you tonight. You got, of course, the Supercross lights and the Supercross class. 2 heats from both. Top 9 will transfer to the main. And then the final 2 riders for each main event come out of the LCQ. 20 riders in both main. 15 laps for the lights, 20 laps for the Supercross class. Here's a look at the start area in the gate. 30-second board is up. Supercross lights, heat number 1. Starting grid is going to come at you from the top of the the top of your screen.
Well, you can see what they've done here is that clay, and then it drops off about 2 feet onto the grass. It's going to be a tough transition there as you have a lot of traction on the clay, and then once you drop into that grass area, it's going to spin a little bit more.
Dean Wilson, Martin Davalos, Ryan Sipes. Some good riders already in this first one, Jeff. Here we go. Out of the first corner. Looks like Sean Lipinovich getting a hole shot here.
Wow, what a start he got. Already pulled out a couple of bike links. And you can see some of the dozer marks, all the jumps, everything reshaped here at Daytona. This track deteriorates quite a bit, like I spoke about earlier, but right now the track's new. Oh, look at that line.
This is that section, Jeff, we were talking about throughout the course of the day. This is a really tricky portion of this racetrack here, all along the pit road.
That's Durham taking the lead. And I believe Sipes might have snuck by also as they hit the first triple right in front of the main grandstands.
More problems for Martin Davalos. Remember a week ago, Jeff, he didn't even get to race. Caught up in an incident. The AMA held him out of the event. And he's had issues here tonight. Look, he's walking away from his bike, not even completing a lap.
Well, and you can see, if you look at his visor, that was his visor was a little bit bent up, and he went down and practiced pretty hard also.
The 36 bike out in front, Darren Durham.
Oh, to the inside, no. Tight insides here, and the outsides, when I was doing track walk earlier today, Ralph, I noticed how wide the outsides were, and I really thought that it was going to be too far to use. Here's that section that is so difficult and so risky.
Look at Stroop flying through that section, doing everything he can to roll into the 46, makes the pass to take second away from the 46 of Ryan Sipes.
And, you know, to follow up with my thought, as they come through this single and double, oh, comes up a little short, but I really thought that these outsides, you see how far Sipes is going wide, but you really can see he's outside to outside and carries so much momentum to go that far around, but when they come across the start-finish line, he's basically right there. He lost no time.
Top 9 transfer. Out of this, those are the names highlighted in green as the names scroll across the top of your screen. Durham continuing to lead. Austin Stroop on that yellow Suzuki right there.
Well, and this by far has been the best ride we have seen for Durham yet in this championship. Getting the whole shot and really putting down a great lap time, a 106.1 here as they, start to work some lines in here on this track. After I said it was freshly groomed, but you can see just how soft the soil is that only after a couple laps, the ruts are already starting to dig in.
And Stroop really starting to pick up the pace too, Jeff. Look at the battle for the lead is picking up. Here comes Stroop.
Here comes the wide lines. Let's see if he can carry any momentum. See, Durham got a little messed up.
Boy, that's going to open the door up there, isn't it?
And they all tighten right back up. And you notice Sipes, who went wide last lap around, falls right in line here. This is those sections where you can really hold it on. Look at Stroop, almost there.
Boy, the speed that Stroop carries through that section is incredible.
Hey, on a 250F, you can easily get up into 5th gear. Now, on a typical Supercross track, there's no way you're going to find 5th gear at all.
5th floor, maybe, in height.
Yeah.
Not 5th gear.
Well, and this is the section also, as we come through here, that they changed after the first practice because these riders were jumping all the way over the top. You see now they go up that stair step.
Look at Stroop, here he comes, right by him. Boy, that is total commitment through that section.
I was standing there throughout qualifying practice, and I'm telling you, one little mistake, like you've seen Stroop, if he got a little bit too far over the front of the bike and any, misfire or back wheel caught an edge, it really could throw you over. And it's a fast section. We're talking 3rd to 4th gear through there.
Yeah, Austin and I were talking about that earlier today, and he said it is really gnarly and very, very scary.
Well, there's a lot of risk involved, and that's what it's going to take here tonight at Daytona International Speedway if you want to win.
Back to the 108. Wilson having some issues on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit. Kawasaki trying to fight his way up through the pack. He's up to 4th. He's got a solid transfer position.
Well, here's a replay as he comes through these sand whoops here. They reshaped him, and look how everyone's funneling into that inside line. Gets past the 130.
Kyle Keelan. And he's also got the 505 right through there with him. Lipinovich.
Well, clean through that tough section here. You see him drop down and get just over the top. Our good buddy Ricky Carmichael designed a difficult track here because especially through this section, you can see that the riders, that's basically one big straightaway from end to end. There's that little jog there, but it's really just a straight line. A lot of momentum there.
Good battles going on here. Here comes the 65 machine of Troy Adams. This battle going on for 6th place.
Well, if you guys remember Troy Adams, he was on a big bike, the 450. Talked with him during track walk. He said when he got on this bike, he was 225. Now he's all the way down to 190, and he still looks like 225 pounds, okay? So giving up 35 pounds on a lights bike, he needed to lose that weight. But you can see him making it through that rhythm section with ease there. His team's got the bikes dialed in. He's dialed in, working his way forward here, working past the other riders. He's up to 6th place right now, and that's going to give him a pretty good starting spot.
This is the last lap. Austin Stroop working his way over to the checkered flag.
Nice, confident, smooth ride here for Austin.
Checkered flag waves at Daytona for Austin Stroop. He takes heat number 1 in the lights class. Durham and Sipes take the top 3 spots along with him.
Well, and Austin also set the fastest lap there of that heat. A 104.3 was his best. It's going to be really important as we watch Heat 2 to see where the other riders are going to fall in and see what his pace is.
So we know Heat 1 taken care of. One thing we still don't know, what's going to happen with the number 22 of Chad Reed? Looks nice and shiny after practice. Is he going to get dirty in a heat race? We're staying on the story.
On the next on
Speed of the Daytona 200. This big crash took place as soon as we went green in the first two corners. 5 riders went down right here. PJ Jacobson and Bastian Skubik were taken over to Halifax Hospital. We're happy to report they were seen and released. Later on in the night, Melissa Paris, who is running in 11th with about 8 laps to go, crashed hard here in the chicane. She too was treated and released, and we're happy to hear that they're all going to be okay. Ready to go racing now with more Supercross action from the Daytona International Speedway as we're working our way through all the great racing that takes place down here at Bike Week. Lights Heat number 2 is up next in the gate. 9 more riders going on to the main. This guy right here, number 1, Christophe Pourcel.
Fastest rider of the day, the fastest lap time. He was really quick. Like I mentioned, he just bounces around this track, never loses momentum. Pretty impressive.
To give you an idea how fast he is, take a look at this graphic. This is from practice earlier today. They're all timed practice sessions. Pourcel, you're not reading that wrong. Jeff, he was the quickest guy on the track, period, including the big bikes.
Yeah, and I'm really impressive for his teammate, Dean Wilson, too.
Into that first corner. Boy, everybody's scrambling through there. It's going to be the 24 of Brett Metcalf coming out with a whole shot, and Pourcel is all over the backside of him.
I tell you, there was about 4 different riders that looked like when they came over that first rise that they were going to have the whole shot, but Metcalf finally gets the start here, and Pourcel trying to, oh, he gets him.
Pourcel comes blasting by on the Monster Energy closed circuit Kawasaki. And Metcalf has everything he can do now to hold on to that Geico Power Sports Honda of his. Oh, and he's off course and back on.
And that's Cunningham in 3rd. At one point, it looked like he might have had the whole shot.
Yeah, Kyle Cunningham on the 32.
See, as these inside lines start to get worn in here. Heat number 2 tonight. See, Pourcel goes wide. Let's see if he can nail this triple. Barely. That's got to be frustrating for Metcalf, though, because he had the start. Great opportunity to win this heat race. Now he's going to have to work his way past the fastest rider of the day if he wants to win Heat 2.
You're watching Jake Moss on the number 40 on the outside of the yellow, battling with Justin Barsha, number 17, on the Honda. Those two fighting over 4th place right now.
When Barsha in qualifying practice today, he was going for it. The laps that I seen him, I mean, he was not letting off the throttle. He was charging extremely hard. It's going to be a tough track to ride like that the whole time, but you can see Justin just blasting the outside lines here, trying to find a way around Moss. Oh, he comes up short, but pulls it off, just work the bike back under him.
That's Barsha you're talking about. Look at this fight here as Metcalf starts to close in on Pourcel. And Jeff, we didn't think anybody would really be able to catch up to Pourcel once he broke through like that.
Well, I'm telling you, Brett Metcalf is known as being one of the more physical riders on the track, and the nastier that the race course gets, the better that he does. Now, first lap around there, first lap that we got time, Pourcel was a 106.2, and remember, Stroop, the first heat was a 104.3, so that's close to 2 seconds.
That's huge.
Okay, so these riders, I don't know whether they're having to get warmed up or the track has changed right now, but they're going to have to find the lines that Stroop had if they want to match him in a main.
Porcel almost tossed it away.
And this is just what Metcalf needs, is to see a rider like Porcel to be making the mistakes. That's when you go, okay, now I think I'm pressuring him.
There he goes. Oh, man, I thought he was going to get him right there.
Oh, he's on the inside.
He's going to have the advantage, and Porcel comes down hard, cuts him off.
That's what you call slamming the door, and look what a gap he got there on Metcalf. We'll see if Metcalf can reel him back in, but if anything's going to light a fire.
And Barsha charging up now because the 40 of Moss went down, so he was moved out already anyway, and now Barsha gets around Cunningham on the 32.
Well, and Justin Barsha last lap around a 104.9, the fastest one of this heat so far. Porcel was a 105 down, so Barsha, fastest rider on the track by a second. But now Porcel is warmed up and he's got a clear track. We'll see what he can do, see if he can get anywhere close to that qualifying time.
Look at Barsha stretching it out there.
It's exciting.
He looks, you know, when they do that, they look like the ski jumpers from the Olympics, where they have to really stretch out over the nose of that bike.
Well, Barsha's a rider that he has a lot of confidence. He rides in a way with a lot of risk. His riding position is he's over the front of the bike. Now, that is the fastest way to get around the track, is if you can constantly get your body position in front of the machine. We've seen Chad Reed execute that, James Stewart, you know, on and on. But for this rookie to ride like this, that's pretty incredible. And if you watch him, how he's all over the bike too, okay? And it's like night and day difference between Porcel, who stays so centered and balanced, and he uses very little energy. Barsha is the exact opposite. He's all over the place, a lot like a young Bob Hanna might have been back in the 70s, which made him so legendary.
And Porcel is more reminiscent of a Kevin Windham, much more fluid and flowing.
Exactly, yeah, great analysis there that you picked up on that.
Every now and then I get one, right?
Yeah, you know, and
watch this. Porcel, this is where he made that mistake.
Okay, so little clips. He gets down in one of those really deep sandy holes, and Metcalf gets right up there on the rear wheel.
Now this was for third. Watch Barsha and Cunningham.
Oh, he takes him wide even. Doesn't even go for the inside ride. He just went ahead and made the pass stick there. Didn't want to leave him any opening to sweep back around the outside.
And roosted him on the way out.
Oh, look who's sneaking up. A couple of teammates here, a veteran and a rookie, getting together.
That's Metcalf and Barsha back there, but they're gapped pretty good by Porcel as we're on the final lap, but the fight for second between these teammates could be pretty good to the line.
Well, and the difference is that Porcel and Metcalf both a 105.2 last time around, and Barsha again in the 104.5. So 7/10 of a second faster, and that's what's closed up on these riders. But we'll see down this fast straightaway here that Ricky Carmichael created for us to see if Barsha can keep the momentum going.
Blasting down the boulevard, if you will.
I'm telling you, that section in the main event is going to be so treacherous. But you see all three riders here really starting to just stabilize it here. Metcalf running such a solid race. And this is going to be a real boost in his confidence, because he says, okay, look, Porcel was fastest qualifier. He's pretty much dominated Supercross on the East here in this championship.
Barsha, Jeff.
And he's right there with him. So this is a good night for the Geico Power Sports guys, but it's still a Pro Circuit guy up front.
Checkered flag for Porcel. But the Geico guys were right there. Metcalf and Barsha are here to play for sure. And they are going to give him a run in the main event. Main Street's hopping, Sosa Speedway. Glad to have you with us. Motorcycle racing between events with Speed Mobile. Get the latest racing news and results as soon as they become available, sent right to your phone. Just text MOTO to Speed 3 for Speed Mobile text alerts. You know, if you've watched a lot of races here at Daytona and you're wondering what all those folks are doing on the Speedway, they're watching the races from there. And they're hoping they're going to watch this guy, Chad Reed, the number 22. Are we going to see him in action here tonight? If we do, it'll be in the second heat of Supercross. Here's heat number 1.
Well, and Chad was very impressive in qualifying practice. He looked rested, he looked confident, so But the man with all the momentum right now is the number 5, Ryan Dungey. He has had a fantastic season. You know, a little up and down there, therefore, you know, a couple of weeks, but overall, just really stepped it up.
Well, it looked like maybe for a while there it was going to start to turn the wrong direction, but boy, he stepped it up last week. Won it in Atlanta, now can he do it in Daytona? We're green with the heat as we drop the gate. Stacking it up in that first corner. Who's going to come out with the advantage? It's to 67 at Chris Blows.
And Blows just snuck around the inside. There was a Yamaha rider I thought had it on the outside there. I'm telling you, some of these, oh, that was Langston. He was into the first turn and went wide, opened the door for Blows, but here he comes.
He's going for the lead. That's Langston on the 8 in the blue riding gear.
Boy, in qualifying practice, I just sensed that Langston was fired up here today.
Yeah.
He just, the opportunity to get outside, to get out of this stadium and, you know, kind of breathe a little bit, if you will. And he is fired up here, heat number 1.
And another Daytona Supercross winner, Kevin Windham on the 14, right there on the Honda, challenging for second. He's trying to get around Blows on that 67.
Well, and the conditions couldn't be any different for Windham than right now. And it's here the dust coming up. There was no
there he
dust.
is, right there, Jeff. Inside that he takes it wide. If you remember back to 2008, Windham won what I've dubbed Tsunami Cross, because that's about the only thing it looked like. It was an absolute hurricane blowing through here that night. An epic race, and he came out with the win.
Well, did you take a look here? That's Chisholm.
Yeah,
55. Is he going to get by Windham?
He's throwing it at it.
Florida native here. He's all fired up and confident in his home state here.
Chisholm up past Windham. Boy, that long pit road section is going to be such the story tonight in the outcome of this race.
You ain't kidding. That's second place now for Chisholm. What a straightaway. He came out of the turn in 4th, basically went through the whole straightaway and ended up in 2nd. I mean, it was 30 seconds ago, but...
Yeah, but if you're fearless, Jeff, and you can hold it wide open through there and just gut it out, you can make up a tremendous amount of ground on the rest of your competition.
Yeah, and yeah, you don't even have to be confident. You just have to be fearless, you know, like kind of that naive, you know, thing. But look at number 5 here. So-so start there, just outside of the top 5, and now he's starting to work his way up front here.
That's Ryan Dungey cutting inside on that Rockstar Makita Suzuki, trying to get around Blows on the 67 bike, riding the Hart and Huntington Honda.
Boy, and he wasn't making it easy, but he finally gets by there. And just behind them is going to be Windham, Brayton, Tedesco. Pretty good field.
Back up front, Langston on the 8. And Jeff, everything that he has gone through, with the eye situation, with the cancer in the eye, overcoming that, injuries, it has been such an amazing road back for Grant Langston. And here he is.
Oh, he stalls it!
He stalls the 8! And just like that, Chisholm has the lead.
Oh, can he get it started? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to put him right with Brayton. That's going to be 6th.
Yep, still a transfer spot, but not a win. Oh, that's devastating.
Wow, but how about this for Chisholm up front? His home state of Florida. You know his family and friends got to be going nuts right now.
Jeff, possibly his first heat race win in Supercross. You get in your home state.
Four laps through here of 8 laps, and the number 5 is on a mission right now. 105.5 seconds around. Last time Chisholm was a 105.6, so pretty similar lap times, but we'll see if Chisholm can keep focused and keep racing forward and not worry about what is behind him. It's going to be hard to do.
He's done a lot of training and riding with James Stewart, who's a very good friend of his.
Well, and that's what they have the ability to do down here in Florida. The riders that live down here is they set up these tracks at their training and practice facilities, and they try to mimic this track by taking the clay and putting it on top of the grass in a sandy section. And this, all of our Supercross fans that have watched Daytona before, they know this is not like your average Supercross event here. And, you know, the track gets so rough and rutted. You see, watch as they come up here, there's some bumps. He actually over-jumped that thing so that he could clear the braking bumps into that little tabletop.
And you know, Jeff, let's face it, Kyle Chisholm has been around controversy the last year or so, going back to Salt Lake City a year ago when he got caught up in the battle in the championship for Reed and Stewart, and then a couple of weeks ago, earlier this year, he got caught up in some more controversy out on the racetrack. And here he is, maybe on his way to his first heat race win.
Yeah, and the chances of these guys getting into some lappers, you know, and we've talked about that before. I mean, the race for the lead, you know, riders should give way. You know, it's questionable at times because at times the riders that are actually getting lapped are still racing for their own position, and it's a tough call, you know. And you know, he's got criticized over the last couple of years, like you said. But there's going to be no criticism here with a ride like this because Kyle Chisholm is on the gas.
Dungey inside.
Take a little look over at each other, but can Chisholm hold it?
There goes Dungey. But Chisholm's got a nice solid second place. If he can hold on, he'll be going straight to the main. Back behind them, there is Windham. And if Windham can hang on for transfer, he'll get his 167th Supercross career start tonight. There's a 23 of Brayton. Langston's right behind him in 5th. There's Grant. And Ivan Tedesco is behind him. 6th place for the number 9. And if Windham gets that 167th career start tonight, that's 4th on the all-time list.
That's quite a bit, okay? That's a lot of gate drops and a lot of laps here. And if you think about Langston here, this year he's just been off a click or two, and while he was riding out front, you just noticed the confidence that he had. It was really, oh, look at this race starting to tighten up here.
Davi Millsaps on the 18, the Red Bull Honda, closing in the Valley Motorsports entry of Ivan Tedesco.
Now look at this, we're looking at the battle. This is 6th and 7th. And both these two riders have been standout riders of this season. Ivan having some great finishes. Obviously, Davey winning at San Diego. It just tells you how much talent there is in Supercross right now. I mean, this field is stacked.
Yellow flag, rider down just to the left as they came through that section.
And look at this, Millsaps with all this room to work with here, but look how far out he has to go. And then he gets the drive. Oh, he's got him.
Takes him on the inside. Ivan tries to square him up, come back after him, bar to bar through this rhythm section, and Davey squirts past to take the white flag.
You know, Ivan might have had a shot there, but on that rhythm section, he only did a double-double single. Millsaps double, triple, just carried more momentum, and look at it, it's already gapped him by about 3-4 bike lengths.
Ivan's still in the transfer spot. Matt Bonney has 9th in the final transfer right now.
Well, I'm taking a look at the lap times, you know, as right now these two riders are 105. Langston actually turned a 104.6, but what Langston needs to look out for is just behind him. What we've seen, Davi Millsaps is on the gas his last time around, a 103.8, one of the fastest laps here in qualifying.
Here's our leader, Dungey.
Confident, smooth.
He's got to be so confident as he takes a checkered flag now, not only for winning the heat, but from that big victory just a week ago. There goes Brayton across. He takes a 4th, and the Joe Gibbs Muscle Milk Toyota pack number 23. Coach Gibbs here tonight, along with his son Coy, runs the program to see how their team can do tonight. We're coming right back to Daytona Heat 2, and will Chad Reed ride after this?
The most anticipated.
Now the race is on.
Bar to bar, and Reed Opens up another spot.
The guy is putting in some serious lap times.
Look at this, do the whoops. There he goes, blitzes right by for second place. Here comes Reed. Reed's gonna get through. Chad Reed wins his third Daytona Supercross victory. There is a lineup in the gate for heat number 2. You saw some of the history of Chad Reed winning here in 2009. Is he going to ride tonight? Let's check in with Aaron Bates for this Progressive pre-race report.
Anticipation has been killing all of us all day long, whether or not Chad Reed is confirmed to race tonight. But Chad, you're standing here at the heat gate. You were fastest overall today. I guess this confirms the obvious answer. Why the decision not to race?
You know, I have nothing to gain from it at this point. You know, I think I achieved what I wanted to do. I had to be here for signings, and I just went out and had fun and rode and got the fastest lap, you know. So nothing changes. It's a good time to be out there with the team.
What do you expect to happen tonight?
You know, I think the two favorites, you know, they're both Ryans. They're going to separate themselves, and I think they're going to go 1-2 either. Obviously, I would like to see just a good battle, but I think those two are going to separate themselves.
Chad Reed is on the sideline for now, but soon enough he'll be back in the mix.
Maybe Toronto, Jeff, in a week. What did he learn today, you think?
Yeah, well, he got a chance to gauge where he's at, where the injury's at, where he's at as far as his speed. He came back and qualified fastest of all of the Supercross riders. So I'd say that when he does come back, this is going to be a real confidence builder towards that.
There's Ryan Villopoto. Here comes your starting grid. Remember, we'll take 9 more out of here. I did get a chance to chat with Chad today, and he said, you know, I'm lacking in all categories, because I'd asked him, is it, you know, speed, endurance, stamina? He goes, you know, it's a little bit of everything. I'm not where I want to be, and I really want to make sure at this stage that I'm good for the outdoors later this summer.
Yeah, he may have to race himself into shape.
Here we go, heat number 2.
From way on the outside.
Oh, but that's not going to be the key. It's going to come from right about the middle. It's the Honda, the number 38 of Trey Kennard.
What a start once again for the dedicated West Coast Lights racer. And look at this, Josh Hill just flying around the outside. That was him in the first turn that just came flying in there. And does he get second?
Yeah, he got Villopoto, and he's in the second. Now what can he do with Kennard? Wow, because Hill is not 100% either, Jeff. I spoke to him, and he said, man, I am beat up, battered, and not good from a week ago crashing in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was a tough hit that he had. I mean, you really wouldn't know it by the way that he's riding right now. He just worked his way past Villopoto, and, you know, spoke with a lot of the riders today. They said, you know, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling comfortable, this and that. And my advice from racing here for so many years is that Daytona is one of those tracks where you're probably not going to feel good. You're probably not going to feel comfortable. The one thing that you have to do is keep your momentum up. You can't get cautious. You can't be afraid to let the bike jump around beneath your legs a little bit. And that's what we're seeing these Supercross riders here do as the track starts to get worked in. Now remember, this is the 4th heat race of the night. Look at this, already 2 ruts on the inside of that turn.
Villopoto in 3rd on that Monster Energy Factory Kawasaki. The San Manuel Yamaha of Hill just in front of him.
This section was just the topic all day long throughout qualifying practice. The fans just really got treated to some, as they tried to get their momentum up. Oh, Villopoto almost goes down. Doesn't really lose any time. But those riders going through that long straightaway, there was some scary sections that some riders got too far over the front of the bike. A lot of panic revs through there. Hopefully these guys can get it dialed in here for the main.
Look at Villopoto cuts across through that whoop section. Closes up on Hill.
I mean that has to be an extra 30 feet to go wide in each one of those turns.
Here he comes inside. Quickly Hill is able to counter.
That was an odd line for Josh Hill to go wide there after that long straightaway.
What, you see the rear end of the 2 kick up on Villopoto?
Well, like I said, Ralph, this is a track and this race, this stop in the championship is one where you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense at all. I've said that before, but you really have to let the bike go under you and not mind if it gets a little sideways now and then. Look at Villopoto. He is
crisscrossing all over the racetrack.
And look how wide Villopoto's going once again, trying to find the line around Hill, and that's because he sees Trey Canard at a 105.4 lap time starting to wheelie away from these guys.
Canard is really adjusted well to the big bike. And just when you think one of the guys gets an advantage, the other one counters back just like that, and Hill takes it right back away from Ryan Villopoto.
But he's putting up a fight here. This is exactly what Hill needs to do, as both riders about 2 seconds, well, second and a half off of Canard, as Canard gets down into the 104s that last lap around, 104.8. Hill and Villopoto both at a 106 flat.
And remember, these are the two guys that are chasing Dungey in the points. So having a good run here tonight is going to be key to both of these guys keeping a shot wide open at Dungey.
Well, and more so than battling for this position in the heat is what I'd like to see these riders do is try to find that momentum and find that lap time. They're at a 106. Dungey was at a 104.1 first time around.
Villopoto around Hill.
Made it look easy there. Took the short way around. Now we'll see if maybe a clear track now. You can already see that he's starting to gap himself from Josh Hill. So we'll see if Villopoto can find the line and drop this lap time. This one should be quicker this time around.
This is a shot why I love coming to Daytona. You really get an idea of the speed these guys are carrying.
Wow, Villopoto last lap, 103.9. Fastest lap of the Supercross qualifying heat so far. And I get the feeling that he's just starting to get loosened up. This is the type of track that a rider like Villopoto was really going to excel on. I mean, we all know what he's done in the AMA National Motocross Championship. I liken this to a blend between motocross and supercross. You know, there's some tracks on the National Motocross circuit that have, similar jumps and all this, and the same amount of bumps and ruts.
He is definitely gaining on Canard.
Oh, no doubt about it. And he's found some lines there. As we're on lap 5 of 8, we know that section that they just went through, that left-hander, that Villopoto has got that line dialed, if it even takes that long to get around Canard.
He's got about 2.5 laps to do it before the checkers.
Well, he's going to double triple here. Makes a little mistake there, but Canard stretches it back out. And this track is so inconsistent as the lines change with each race. This sand, what the sand berm that might have been there one lap ago, it could have got blown out by the other 20 riders. You come around the next lap and it's just not there.
Coming up along pit road. That long boulevard of broken dreams and battered bikes tonight.
Well, and these two riders have a little history when it comes to Supercross. A couple years ago.
Look at how Villopoto he takes it back and forth across this stretch.
Okay, but here it is. Look how much time he gains here by taking this inside line. Now he ends up right on Canard's rear wheel. A couple turns left to go. Villopoto still charging hard. Canard takes the outside, so does Villopoto. Let's see if Canard goes outside.
Through this section here, Trey starts to step away from him, and then look at the speed Villopoto carries. Look at that, right on the outside to get him. Boy, he just came ripping through there.
Well, and Canard, we've seen how much fight he has. Look at this. Let's see if he can pick up on some lines. Even though he's moonlighting, if you will, here in the Supercross, he has had some fantastic races, and this is going to be a.
Let's go back and take a look at this pass and the speed of Villopoto.
Well, see, Canard starts to get on the brakes here as he comes in really mellow. I mean, watch this here. As Villopoto, he just leaves it on a little bit longer. He just wants it that much more and charged in just a little bit harder. Just went a little deeper.
Well, that's what we talked about all night, Jeff. You've got to really want it more than anybody else here tonight. It's that commitment level that's going to make the difference. Hill and Tommy Hahn battling here. Josh Hill on the blue Yamaha, number 75. Hahn closing in on the number 10 Rockstar Suzuki.
On here, you see him going kind of through the middle, more of that line that Villopoto took, and Hill kind of bouncing his way through here, and he's hanging tough right now, but at that 106 lap time just could not hang with the leaders, as Villopoto was a 103 last time around and Kennard at a 104, so both of those riders were consistent and consistently fast. Josh Hill has consistently been a 106. And Tommy Hahn right now, he's down in the 105s, about a half a second a lap faster, and he is really putting the pressure on to Josh Hill on that San Manuel Yamaha.
Working the final lap here in heat number 2.
Boy, and you can just see here, out of the 4 heat races, the track has already changed, already getting rough, starting to take on the appearance of what it was in the qualifying heat when it was torn up.
Checkered flag, Ryan Villopoto. Ryan Morris in his first Supercross race, battling with Michael Byrne. This is for 6th. Morris is on that yellow Suzuki. We're hearing he's going to ride this big bike until the West Coast lights start up again, and he's going to the main for the first time on a big bike. Congratulations to Morris. Congratulations to Villopoto on the win.
If you're looking to get the best deal on...
Last night, motorcycles were screaming through the Tri-Oval at almost 200 miles an hour. Now tonight, fans, some 20 deep, standing on the racetrack at the Tri-Oval here in Daytona watching Supercross. The only race here at the Speedway where you can do it, and it's a pretty cool view. Now, one rider they won't see in competition here tonight, sadly, is Andrew Short. The Red Bull Honda rider got hurt earlier this season at San Diego, and he's out for a few weeks, so we put him to work. Here's a behind-the-scenes look from Andrew.
Hey, I'm Andrew Short. I ride for Honda Red Bull Racing. We're here at Daytona Supercross 2010. Unfortunately, I'm hurt, so I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes and show you what it's all about. Daytona is a big race for Honda. Every weekend at every Supercross there's a press day, an event to promote the race. Obviously, Honda having a huge presence. Davi's doing stuff with the local media just to get attendance up and make people aware of what's going on at the race.
We're going to shoot some footage for Daytona, and then we're going to go and do corporate videos over at the Honda tent.
Hey, we just finished doing some stuff with the Daytona Motor Racing group and getting ready to go do track walk. You can see the madness. Everybody's going to get the first glimpse at the track. What's up with the stash?
We got a little bet going, so they could run it longer.
With who?
Just me and him.
Oh, with Franken?
Yeah.
The jumps are good, hard faces. It's a little different, more straightaways and rollers and stuff. So I think it's gonna be a fun night.
Are you pumped because you and Ricky been hanging out? You guys been practicing together. You got any advantages here in Daytona?
I don't know.
Been training with the GOAT?
Yeah, I mean for sure he came on road a little bit, but we got a track together this week at the house, which was pretty long and fun, and got pretty rough too. So try to get it somewhat like Daytona, but once you get here, it's never the same.
You been having fun on Bike Week?
Oh, dude, I'm loving Bike Week. Yeah. Loving Bike Week. It's all that.
You been putting on your chaps and leather?
Yeah, we were scary one day. Oh yeah, just chaps though.
You've seen track walk, talked to a few of the guys, just see what they thought of it, what's going on. Take you back to the truck, show you what's going on over there, and just show you what the riders do throughout the day, behind the scenes. Welcome to the rig here at Honda Red Bull Racing. We have 2 semis. This is the hospitality semi. Trey's getting ready to go riding. This is basically where all the food's prepared. Right behind you is the suspension area. They make changes throughout the day on the track. Right here, tradition Honda truck. You get on the podium, you get brownies. Trey, way to go. I might steal one later. They're pretty yummy. They're really yummy. Welcome to the riders area upstairs. This is where the riders get away. It's our home away from home. You get dressed up here. We store our boots, helmets, goggles, everything we need to go race. You can see gear. It's kind of a mess for me. I have some stuff, but knee braces, shorts, socks, just whatever you need throughout race day. And see a bunk, take a nap, get your race face on, get mentally prepared to line up on the starting gate, have some pictures just of family, home. When you're on the road all the time, and so those little things give you a smile and put you in the right place. But that's it. You see behind the scenes kind of what the riders go through, where we get dressed, what we do throughout the day. Thanks for checking it out. Hope to see you soon.
You know, during Bike Week here at Daytona, they race just about anything you can compete on 2 wheels, whether it's road racing, dirt track, supercross, enduros, drag racing. About the only 2 things they don't do are hill climbs and speedway on ice, but they're talking about that. You never know. Main events coming up.
At Polaris,
who face down fear behind the wheel. Wednesday, Speed takes you to the great Northwest, where generations of loggers haul precarious loads down treacherous mountain roads. All new dangerous drives. Log Truckers, Wednesday, 9 Eastern, only on Speed. Welcome back to the booth here at Daytona. Ralph Shaheen and Jeff Emig with you. We're joined now by a guy who had a career best finish today in the NASCAR Truck Series. Ricky Carmichael, way to go, a 6th.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Atlanta's good to me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And a fantastic race getting ready to get going here with the Supercross class in a few minutes. What do you think we're going to see out of the big bikes?
You know, I was down on the track for the heat races there, and it's getting rough as normal, typical Daytona. I think the strongest guy tonight is going to win, not necessarily the fastest guy. This is built for the strongest guy. Obviously, Villopoto, we know how great he is. Dungey, I think Millsaps is going to be really good tonight. It being his hometown race, I'm looking for a lot of things out of him.
You built a brutal track here, Ricky. You designed this one, and we've been talking about this long section down pit road, which we've dubbed the Boulevard of Broken Dreams and Busted Bikes. Did you mean it to come out this tough?
I just wanted it to be fun and a little bit different. We put the start in a different place, and we got the finish line in a different place. No matter what you do, Daytona is always going to be rough, no matter what. So it's a little faster than normal. I just want it to generate some good racing.
Well, and there's no doubt about it, as we watched qualifying practice earlier today, that boulevard of broken dreams and broken bikes, or however you coined it. I mean, it was tough. There was that first step up where the riders, I mean, they were jumping onto it. It was tough. Riders were panic revving. Guys were going down all over the place because there's so much momentum there. It's really treacherous.
Well, the first race we're going to see when we drop the gates is going to be the Lights East Coast class, and Jeff Porcel looks like the guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Porcel is wired. I do think that Stroop, Metcalf, and Barsha are going to have something for him. Can Barsha ride like that for 15 laps here at Daytona? We're going to see if the kid can do it.
You know, we got a lot of racing for you tonight here on Speed from Daytona. After Supercross, the National Guard American Superbike Series kicked off 2 rounds of racing here earlier in the weekend. We have them both for you, race 1 and race 2, right after Supercross. And as you can see from these pictures, it was spectacular action. 3-4 wide, the racing was just tremendous. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And then tomorrow, we're going to christen the brand new dirt track. Yeah, they got a new racetrack right here on the grounds of the World Center of Racing behind NASCAR Turns 1 and 2. And you'll see it Sunday, 6 p.m. here on Speed. Stay with us, because we're going to go racing with the Supercross lights. All those folks on Main Street got to hurry up and find a TV. Line getting ready for the Lights main event. The folks in Musco have done a spectacular job of lighting this speedway so that we go racing with Supercross. I mean, it is like daylight out there, and it's going to be wonderful for some great racing tonight. Before we do that, let's introduce you once again to Aaron Bates for a progressive pre-race report.
Daytona is known to be one of the roughest and toughest super truck tracks of the entire Supercross season. Justin, take us through, basically, you said the style, the rougher, the tougher it is, the more it suits your style.
Yeah, you know, this track's really gnarly, and I love the ruts out here, and it's more like a motocross track to me, so I'm loving it today, my wide open style.
Any concerns just being one rider away from Christophe Purcell?
Am I concerned? The question is he concerned?
Drama might be brewing, and his teammate Brett Metcalf sitting here on the line. Brett, you made the podium last weekend. What's your strategy coming into tonight?
Just to get off this gate and get a good start and get in contention for the race.
A start's definitely going to be the key to success, and Christophe Purcell kicking back here, just looking like he's relaxing a little bit. Christophe, what's going to be the key to success tonight to make this flow?
I think it's going to get rough, and the 5 last lap are going to be pretty good. So I'm just going to try to get a good start, and then for the fast,
5 last lap, then I'm just gonna try to get my lap time lower, and it should be pretty good.
I just asked Justin Barcia if there was any concern having just one rider separating you two off the start line. He said, am I concerned? Is he concerned? What's your take on that?
You know, from the start, when I do something like that, I just think that there's nobody on my side, and I don't think about anybody else.
Good luck to you tonight.
You know what I liked about him, Porcel, just at the last round, as this rivalry starts to build here, is that they were all kind of saying how they were going to have to get tough on him, and he was a guy that really kind of stepped up the aggression and went after the rest of the field when it looked like maybe they were going to try to take their shots at him. So we'll see how this rivalry builds when we drop the gate at Daytona. The Supercross Lights East Series getting ready to go. Ricky Carmichael gave him a brutal track. How tough will it be to win the lights?
Who's going to go on?
Most anticipated season in Formula One history begins with a host of critical changes and the return of F1's greatest driver, Michael Schumacher. The world will be watching Formula One, the Bahrain Grand Prix, live Sunday, March 14th, 7:30 Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Well, there's Martin Davalos, who's had an interesting day here in Daytona. Let's take you back to the start of his night with the heat race. Jeff, he went down early.
He definitely went down hard. It's been a tough week for Davalos, but as you see, he gets back up, notices that the bike was pretty beat up.
He would end up going to the last chance qualifier, and he would end up taking the win there with Vince Friese following him across the line. So those were the last two riders to take the transfer spots to the main. Austin Stroop and Christophe Porcel, heat race winners here tonight. Porcel trying to go back-to-back with lights victories here at Daytona. Jeff, this front gate drop coming into the first turn, a couple different ways you can get the whole shot.
Well, there definitely is, and what I've seen all night long is that the riders are coming down through here with a lot of speed and they're pushing wide, okay? What you need to do, you don't even have to be first in, but if you can hug right along these tough blocks, and that way, I think that you can steal the whole shot away from the guys that get into the first turn before you.
There's Christophe Porcel, starting grid across the top of the screen. 30-second board is up, and he's got Metcalf and the 17 of Barcia gunning for him.
You know what? Metcalf really surprised me in the heat race. Jeff touched on it earlier. I mean, the guy was turning it loose, for sure.
And these guys are hungry. They do not like having a guy like Porcel that's not from the United States come in and steal these races away. We're going to see if somebody can do it here at Daytona.
Here we go, lights main event. How do they attack that first corner? Who's going to get the whole shot? It looks like it's the 45 of Stroop out front early. Porcel right there. The 66 getting into the mix. That's Blake Baggett.
All right, Blake Baggett out here at his very first Daytona. He whole shots a main event.
He's got his hands full too. Look at, here comes Stroop right by for the lead.
Yeah, he wasn't cutting Stroop any slack there right off the beginning. Man, look at that.
Here he comes back again. Let's see if the rookie can get past.
He's struggling on the outside big time.
Wow,
man.
These rookies we have this year, guys, fearless. They are absolutely going for it. Extremely talented field. We've seen that with Barcia. We've seen it. Baggett's been up there. And remember, last week in Atlanta, Baggett was up there in the top 5 and fell down. So we'll see if he can keep it on 2 wheels and possibly have a podium race at his very first Daytona Supercross.
And it looks like Metcalf and Barcia are back in about 6th and 7th position.
Not a good thing for them. As you see Porcel there coming through the whoop section, trying to get...
Boy, Porcel's on the gas. Here he comes, up to second, around the 66 of Baggett.
How about that? And we also see Dean Wilson up there, and he was the 5th fastest qualifier in qualifying practice today. So impressive. But remember, back to the heat, he did not get the start that he needed. Now he's inside the top 5 and chasing down his teammates. So we see if Wilson can wick it up and get into the top 3.
Here they come, right into your living room. There's Baggett. There's the 108 of Wilson. The 46 is Sipes. Sipes on the blue bike. The Yamaha. The green Kawasaki of Wilson just in front of it, and then it's Metcalf and Barsha on the pair of Hondas after them.
And you notice some of the sections actually worked on in between the races, kind of smoothed them out, but some of the other sections they left alone.
Yeah.
And some of these ruts and the turns are going to get so deep and nasty.
Absolutely. You can already see the ruts in the face of the jumps there, and we were only 3 laps into this main event. I've been impressed with Baggett. The guy had an awesome ride going last weekend, and he's really showing us something here tonight as well.
And Ricky, you know, the other thing about this racetrack, unlike any other Supercross, is not just a different type of surface, but the different types of surface. You've got grass, sand, dirt, all kinds of stuff out there.
Hard packed clay in some of the turns. You guys can see on the inside of the turns, it's real dark dirt, sand. Oh, look at this.
Fight for the lead. Porcel with that red number 1, the reigning champ, coming after it.
Boy, he really had the momentum. If you've seen through that second set of step-ups, he jumped over that sinkhole into the middle of that step-up. Carried just a couple of bike lengths more momentum, but Stroop he's been strong, and I talked to him earlier. He said, I do not want to make the same mistake as last week.
And I tell you, I mean, it's not that Porcel don't have a lot of breathing room as far as points go in the championship. They both have went 1-2 both weekends. So, you know, I mean, Stroop has a lot to gain here by winning.
Yeah, and remember, last week when Stroop and Barsha were out there, they both had the problem, and Porcel just kind of, you know, he didn't make any mistakes, and he found himself in the lead. This is going to be a race here. We're on lap 4 of 15, that by the end of this 15 laps, there's going to be a lot of mistakes by different guys.
Well, it looks like Baggett on the 66 in 3rd, closing in a little bit on the back of Porcel.
Well, last time around, Stroop was a 105. Porcel and Baggett were both 104s. So right now, these riders are really laying it down. But Porcel, as usual, he's very patient, he's very smart. Oh, little mistake
shot there.
Yeah, he's trying to, those guys are trying to jump that turn jump there. And it's not very good.
Obviously, that's not how you designed it, because he really stopped his momentum there. It kind of gave the head bob, and you can see as a 45 here on the yellow Suzuki, Stroop just wheeled away a little bit, a couple of bike lengths.
I like how Porcel stands up a lot, man. That's pretty cool. That's that European style. You know, those guys like to stand up a lot.
Watching Stroop, Porcel right on his back, coming after him. Baggett right there. There goes Wilson. Here comes Sipes, Metcalf, and Barsha.
Sipes, once again, another solid ride going. Oh, and there's the two Honda riders. There's Metcalf. It's in front of Barsha, and look at this. This is starting to tighten up for the lead.
Yeah. I'm surprised at Baggett, man. I mean, he's not losing touch of that wheel. It's pretty impressive.
He's got that Rockstar Suzuki running good.
And I think it has a lot to say about the amateur motocross program here in the United States, of how these riders like Barsha and Baggett have graduated to the pro ranks, and they are more than ready to race against, you know, seasoned veterans, champions here like we're watching on the screen.
Well, Porcel's on him now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's got, there's blood in the water right here. There's
He's
no
going
doubt
inside.
about it.
And he comes out with the lead. Can he hold it?
That was unbelievable, that pass on the inside. He did the double from the inside.
So smooth. Just, he railed that turn. Executed perfectly. Now let's see if Stroop is gonna, if this is gonna rattle him, if this is gonna frustrate him and make him just, you know, ride a little bit over his head. Right now, he needs to keep his heart rate down the best he can, use his head, not make any mistakes, because like you said, Ricky, this championship it's still very close, okay? Yes. You don't want to let the guy go, give away the win or anything like that, but you also don't want to throw it away. and lose massive amounts of points by trying to go for the win.
Exactly. You know, you got to look at the big picture.
Here's how the pass for the lead came.
Here you go. You guys can see Stroop goes to the outside there.
Yeah, and he starts on the inside and then works his way out.
Okay, now watch how tight this rut is on the inside. You see Purcell, very hard. Basically, Stroop just left the door open for him, really.
Well, and Purcell was just, I mean, that was execution, yeah.
Textbook, without a doubt. But, I mean, that's a tough position to be in. It's probably a good position that Stroop's in right now. Maybe try to latch onto him and follow him and see maybe where Purcell is faster.
I don't think he can, Ricky. Yeah. I mean, it looks to me like Purcell has really gapped him. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's bouncing through this whole boulevard of broken dreams and shattered bikes, was it? He's in that Daytona zone, Ricky, where, yeah, you're hitting bumps. Everyone's going to hit the bumps. Everyone's going to get a little loose, but he's comfortable doing that, and he's absolutely flying now. 103.8 last lap around.
That was Barsha that just went by. Here comes Nico Izzy. Nico is running in 8th. Durham in 9th. Cunningham's behind them in 10th. Davalos up to 11. Freezy right behind him.
I tell you, for Davalos to even be out there right now after the week that he's had, it's been really tough. He took some bumps and bruises here today.
Yeah, just today, and that heat race was a nasty one.
There's Cunningham.
32 Cunningham, and here comes Davalos. Freezy right behind him.
A lot of guys taking the inside there. I'm surprised a lot of guys aren't going double, triple there. It just must be too hard on the lights bikes. We've seen some of the Supercross guys do it. It just shows you the difference in power that the Supercross bike has.
Well, and show you the difference in lap time there. The last graphic we had is our leader, number 1, was down around the 103, 104, and Davalos up around the 108. So,
but Jeff, I got to tell you, this battle is tightened back up because just about a lap ago, the gap between first and second was a lot bigger than that.
Oh yeah, hey, that's what I'm saying. If he could get by and see where Christoph is a little bit faster and try to do something, and I'm really impressed with Baggett. Baggett's still in there as well. You guys can see him.
Yep, and he's got Wilson right behind him in the 108. Here's the mechanics area.
Jeff, like you said earlier, man, it's good to see all these young, new first-year amateur riders coming into the pro ranks, be so fast and trying so hard. It gives us a lot to look forward to for years to come. I mean, I'm impressed.
Well, and this year especially, as you have the Ricky Carmichael Amateur Supercross on the same track here tomorrow, so as we add that to our amateur racing circuit, you know, you never know what advantage that's going to give the kids as they come up and get a chance to ride this. So,
well, that's one of the hardest parts, Ricky, is where do you find the opportunity to practice on a Supercross track?
Well, you could go and ride at people's Supercross tracks if they're generous enough to let you do that, or but back earlier in my day, I would race amateur days at all the Supercross. They've done away with that, so that's what's cool about being able to have my race here tomorrow. Is these guys get to watch. A lot of these amateurs are here already. They get to watch and then try to do the same thing that these guys, to some extent, tomorrow.
Well, and then we're also, of course, on Monday doing the Ricky Carmichael University, and Ricky, Jeff Stanton, myself. So it should be interesting. We've got 100 students in for that, and one thing that we're going to point out is, remember how the number 1 was doing it? Like, that's pretty good.
That's the way you want to do it.
Way to go.
Look how smooth he is, man. This guy's like silky smooth.
I likened him earlier tonight to Kevin Windham style.
Yeah, definitely. He stays very centered over the bike. His balance is there. He seems to do everything with ease and use very little energy. And, what we've shown was the night and day difference between Barsha, who does it a totally different way.
And Baggett now closing in on us. Oh, there goes Stroop. That's going to give Baggett a big opportunity. And Wilson as well.
These two guys, Baggett and Wilson, man, they are crushing it right now. They are showing me a lot. I'm kind of sitting here speechless because I'm watching this race, and I mean, they are so impressive. It's great to see.
Hey, 5 to go, and one of them at least is going to get on the podium at Daytona. That's pretty stout.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot to, speaks volumes about these two teams here. The Rockstar Candidate Pet Food Suzuki team, a lot of experience on there, everyone, the team managers, the riders, all that, what they're doing. And, of course, Mitch Payton's Monster Energy Pro Circuit team, which Dean Wilson is on. These rookies, as amateurs, earned the right to be on top teams. Okay, so they earned the right to be there, and that no doubt is playing a major part in their early success here as rookie Supercross riders.
Oh, Wilson saw an opportunity there, didn't he?
He did. That's like we got a three-way battle for second place.
Sure do.
All these guys taking the inside there before the whoops, you guys can see. Not really anyone going to the outside there and inside there. That's the fastest line for the lights, guys, I think.
Well, and remember also, Ricky, we've both been through this where now, for Baggett and Wilson, these guys raced each other before they were professional.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Here comes Wilson. Baggett went a little wide. Wilson really jumped on the throttle. Lapper's in the way, too.
Wow, are they hitting a big group of lappers now?
Yeah. This is really going to affect things.
The 412's in there, the 92. Going to be coming upon the 130 here pretty quick.
That's Keelan on the 130.
Yeah, see him right there, and Stroop just, let's see if he's going to get to the inside. Yep, all three riders funnel in there.
Look at all these guys. Seems like they got up to a clump of them all of a sudden, man. Like, oh! Look at this.
He got him!
Wilson getting by Baggett there, and all along I thought Baggett was going to get Austin. Wilson's trying to set his sights now on.
It's true. There's more traffic in front of him, too.
Yeah, there's the blue flag waving. That's for a lapped rider. When that flag gets pointed at you and waved, that means that you're getting lapped. The lead group is coming by.
Boy, Aaron Wilson's having a great ride.
That he is for sure, guys. Well, he told me earlier this afternoon that last week in Atlanta when he led those first 8 laps, it's the first laps he's ever led as a pro rider. He said he got so excited that he just wasn't able to breathe. He got all pumped up and basically hit a wall. This weekend, he said he's coming in a whole lot more confident. He also took 2 days of riding on an outdoor motocross track, trying to prepare himself to tonight. It looks like all that preparation is finally paying off.
Well, I've been there before. In my first Supercross, I led 11 laps of the main. Unfortunately, only finished 7th, but I tell you, I don't think I took a breath the whole time. It might have had a little bit to do with the end result. But one rider that knows how to ride these 15 laps to perfection, of course, Christophe Pourcel, number 1.
Watching Pourcel working his way towards the finish here. He's going to have 2 to go. Stroop behind him. How far back? Oh, 5.25.
Boy, and it just changed, huh? The last 2 laps, last 2-3 laps, it just, Pourcel just smoothed out, hit every bump perfect.
Yeah, you know Pourcel, I mean, he did great in the motocross championship last year, coming up a little bit short, but the guy's in great shape. I think his riding style really suits this track, it being rough. You have to stand up a lot. And, I mean, the guy's just a great rider.
That's something that Wilson and Baggett and some of these other younger riders like Marsha are going to learn about what it takes stamina-wise to run at the front of this field at Daytona.
And I'm impressed with Wilson and Baggett's stamina. I mean, their first time here, they're young, you know, they got that kid energy, and they're doing pretty good on a rough track.
That's the 40 and Moss having some issues there.
Well, he's getting lapped, so he did the wise thing. Must have heard some of our broadcasts before.
There's a fight right there. Wilson on the 108, the 66 going away from you. That's Baggett. That's a fight for 3rd on this final lap. But Wilson's going to try to make it a fight for 2nd because he's coming after Stroop.
That's what I was about to say. It looks like he's closed up. Baggett just a couple bike links off, but Wilson, I mean, all 3 riders. Oh, he made a little mistake there.
Oh.
Look at this. This is a chess match back and forth. And Stroop, he's going to get all the pressure here.
He's really going to have to run it hard down this long section.
Stroop Baggett can't let up because he's got heat. Stroop can't let up because he's got heat. This is good.
Wow, this is really impressive here for all these riders that are inside the top 4 have just put on fantastic rides. Look like Stroop's going to come up just a little bit short, but for Wilson and Baggett, wow.
Fighting over a podium spot at Daytona.
You know, Baggett might be bummed that he ain't going to get the podium.
Porcel, however, is going to get the win. He takes the lights win at Daytona. Christophe Porcel joins Brian Zwink and Travis Pastrana as the only riders to win Daytona Lights back-to-back. And Porcel gets his 3rd consecutive win of the season and makes his way over to the podium here at Daytona for Kawasaki, their 8th win here in Daytona. We'll be right back. Partiers. Let's show you the results out of the Supercross Lights main event. You know, we've been talking about Porcel all year. Really no surprise there. Davalos turns a horrible beginning into a good finish with a top 10. Barship, Baggett, Wilson, those guys learned a lot here tonight.
You know what, Dakotas was in there. I think Durham also inside the top 10. I think that was a pretty solid ride for him also.
No doubt about it. Let's go meet our winner with Aaron.
Christophe Porcel, 3 for 3 victories so far this season. Christophe, you're on a roll. Is there anything that's going to be able to stop you?
You know what? What I'm going to say is that I don't want anything to stop me, and I would like to just win every race, but we never know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to try my best. You never know.
Great job tonight on a very difficult track. Congratulations.
Well, the guys tried to throw some heat at him again this week before the start of the race, and Porcel hangs in there. But like you said, Ricky, that points lead is not anything to get comfortable with as the series now moves back inside a dome as we head up to Canada.
Absolutely, because we've seen how much it's switched it in the West Coast. It could very easily be here on the East Coast.
Here's Aaron again.
Austin Stroop has 3 consecutive 2nd place finishes. Austin, what is it going to take just to up your game, just that one last step to take home that 1st place?
I don't know. I feel like every weekend, even though I'm not winning, I'm making progress and stuff and moving forward, and that's been my goal. And to be competitive this year, other than last year, for the whole season. I know it's not that long, but it's a pretty long season. So just happy to be up here. Thank Rockstar, McKee, Suzuki, you know, everybody, Scott, you know, my family, and just glad to be here.
Austin Stroop, you practice on a sand track this week. Obviously, it paid off for him.
Next Saturday, the high-flying Renegades of Supercross go bar to bar on speed. Don't miss Ryan Dungey, Ryan Villopoto, Josh Hill, and the world's greatest riders as they torch the track in Toronto. Live coverage begins next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, right here on Speed. That's going to be great. Our only visit to your home country, Aaron.
That's right. Well, Dean Wilson is from my home country as well, not too far away, a neighbor. Dean, you make it up to the podium the first time in your pro career. This has got to be an overwhelming feeling for you, considering how much confidence you had coming in from last weekend's performance.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I've worked really hard to get here, and I mean, I really wish I would have been on the podium a little bit earlier, maybe the first 2 rounds, but it's all learning experience for me, and you know, I'd like to thank all my team, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I got off to an awesome start, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Are you looking forward to next weekend, going to your home country in Toronto?
Yeah, it should be really good. I'm excited to see my old fans and you know, see some family too. So I'm really excited, and yeah, it should be good.
Terrific job today.
Well, we might meet some future stars of this sport tomorrow as Ricky gets his Daytona Amateur Supercross Championship underway. 22 years since there's been an Amateur Supercross here, and out of those 800 entries, I'm guessing there's going to be a few possibilities.
Yep. Absolutely, I think there's a lot of future for sure, without a doubt, and I can't wait to check it out.
And I can't wait to see how rough it's going to be at the end either.
Come on now, come on, it's going to be good.
Hey, riders are at the gate. We'll have the start when we come back to Daytona.
Who's going to go
tonight here at the Daytona Supercross by Honda? Working our way towards the main event. And who is going to add their name to the list of legends who have won at this historic venue? And there is Kevin Windham, and with James Stewart not here and Chad Reed not riding, Kevin Windham is the only rider lined up in the gate of the 20 who has won this race back in 2008. Ricky, this is what I call the tsunami cross.
Look at that. That is unbelievable. You know, a great track design, but Mother Nature was not our friend. It was not a good night for him.
Chad Reed just a couple of corners from the finish. The bike finally can't go any further. Windham goes on to win. And Jeff, Kevin Windham told me he took this jersey, didn't wash it, dried it, framed it, and it hangs in his house.
Well, that was a special win, and the images tell the whole story.
Well, we're not going to have that look tonight, Aaron, but it should be a pretty good main event with your Progressive pre-race report ready to kick us off.
Tonight's going to be a good one. The number 116 of Ryan Morris returns to racing after a crash at Anaheim too, and obviously is a little bit excited tonight because just as we were about to spot him out, he took off running to the restroom. Probably a little bit of nervousness and excitement settling in, but you're going to notice this time he returns in the Supercross class, racing the factory Makita Suzuki team on a 450. He's only had 6 days of riding on this bike. He said he feels extremely comfortable, but the biggest challenge for him is trying to manage and maintain all the power of the 450. He said everything on it is completely different. Turning, going through the whoops is all new to him. He said this track is a tough one to make a comeback at, but it's not about pinning it to win it. It's about survival of the fittest. Ricky, I guess you guys know all about that.
Absolutely.
You know, winning anything here at Daytona is so impressive. It means so much. We've talked about it all week here and throughout speed weeks here. Ricky, you won it 5 times. Jeff, you won it in '97. What does it mean to win the Daytona Supercross?
It's the prestige. This is Daytona International Speedway over there in the museum. Your name is up on the wall, on the plaques, along with all the other, car racing legends. It's pretty cool, huh, Ricky?
No, I mean, if you don't win the title, this is a race you got to win. I mean, it's just like you said, so much racing history here.
And the celebrities have turned out in droves to watch this. Troy Glaus and Nate McLeod from the Atlanta Braves are here. Brandon Inge from the Detroit Tigers is in the house. Robbie Merrill, rocking it from Godsmack, is here. Jason Bonham from Zeppelin, our good pal, is here. Harvick, who won the truck race earlier today, came in from Atlanta. The Haydens have stuck around. John Hopkins is here. Tommy Aquino is here. Everybody wants to see the Daytona Supercross by Honda. And you're going to see it right now. Who's going to get the whole shot? Battling it out. It goes to Villopoto, barely on the Cowie.
Wow, and did you see what happened in the first turn? Everyone pushed wide. Villopoto did not get out of the gate, but what he did is he stayed tight around the first turn, and look at this, already out front, along with
Ivan Tedesco's right there in the number 9, Jeff.
Trey Kennard.
And Trey Kennard is right there. This young guy is really working well on that big bike. And look at Tedesco and Langston. Man. Grant Langston takes a vicious tumble. Well, we called it the Boulevard of Broken Dreams and Busted Bikes, and it bit Grant Langston.
Wow, he charged over that triple step up, and like we talked about the whole broadcast, it has just really taken its toll as the riders jump up there.
And Jeff, the Asterisk medical crew on the scene immediately right there to assist him. Watch the 8 bike.
Watch what he does here. He jumps up, just a triple step up, and he gets just a little, see all the dirt come out from the foot pegs there? Oh. He's stuck. When he landed in there, he's stuck. Oh.
Look at the Asterisk medical crew right there. Red flag is out. This race coming to a stop while they assist Grant. And Jeff, you and I stood right there at practice this morning, and we watched Langston take a vicious tumble through there then.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting because just on pit road right there is where all of the family and friends and all the team people sit right there, right in front. And there's so much speed and momentum. We were just kept commenting at how risky that section was.
All right, well, we will take a look at getting everybody set back into the gate. When we're all set to go racing, we will be right back to Daytona to bring it all to you. Stay with us here on Speed for more of the Daytona Supercross by Honda.
Prepare to face the inferno as the high-flying renegades of Supercross go bar to bar on Speed. Josh Hill, Ryan Dungey, and the world's greatest riders torch the track, defy gravity, and ignite a firestorm of high-speed competition. With a burning need to top the podium. Don't miss Monster Energy AMA Supercross from Toronto next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
There is a battle being waged in the American outdoors between between modern-day warriors on racetracks around the country. Their task is as difficult as there is in professional sports, where the slightest of errors can lead to the heaviest of consequences.
Come on, Chad! Folks, this is what you paid to see. They're drag racing in front of the mechanics area.
The Moto, inside the outdoors, only on Fuel TV.
Back to Daytona, getting ready to restart this main event. Now these riders have been sitting here for a few minutes, cooling down and thinking about what happened to their friend and fellow competitor right here, Grant Langston on the number 8.
And you see he comes up and just buries the foot pegs. Oh, man. Stopped all of his momentum, went over the bars extremely hard.
Eddie Casillas right on the scene, the Asterisk medical crew there to help him, his wife Chelsea there. And you can see his arm up as they put him into the ambulance to take him over to Halifax Hospital. And the former world champion, former national motocross champion, we're hoping is going to be okay.
Man, I hate to see that. These guys
I'm sorry, he was going for it today. He was really on a different level here today than what he's been in the past week. So
yeah, absolutely.
Wish you the best, Grant.
All right, now we got to get focused on getting back to racing. And Ricky, you were saying during the break it would take you 5 laps sometimes.
Oh yeah, these guys are shaking for sure. So we got to minimize that and
go. Go we do, down to turn 1. Hill trying to get there. It's Villopoto again with the whole shot.
Here we go.
But this time he's got Hill right behind him. And those are the two that are chasing Dungey in the points battle.
Well, and Ryan Dungey got a much better start this time as he got on the binders early and snuck around the inside. That's where he gave it up the first lap. So look what's happened here. The top 3 riders in the championship have rose to the occasion, okay? We're going to see if Hill can pick it up. We know that Villopoto, wants it. Dungey's right there. Championship leaders came to the top at Daytona.
Dungey's got to try to get around Hill as quick as he can to go after Villopoto. And boy, he got a great run on the outside of that big berm. Lots of speed, but Hill was able to beat him to that tight section first.
He definitely has, but I can't believe how far that Villopoto is checking out right now. First lap, the guy could pull over and drink a sweet tea. It's unbelievable, dude. Look at this guy. He's flying.
Wow, he just went from the right side to the left side.
He knows he better get out there.
He's got, and look who's got another good start.
Here he comes, Trey Kennard right up there for Honda. So it's Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Honda. All 4 in the top 4.
Absolutely. Man, Villopoto has checked out already.
He was fired up. There's no doubt about it. Well, and you look back a week ago to Atlanta when he was second, trying to pace Dungey, who was out in the lead, and he goes over the bars, make a huge mistake, loses 20 points in the championship. You can tell Villopoto's focused. He says, you know what? I'm for sure going to make up at least 3 on somebody tonight by winning this main.
And I like the way his bike looks. I mean, Villopoto's bike looks fantastic tonight. It looks like it's working good. We all know how great of a rider he is, especially in outdoors. I mean, he has a lot of great history in outdoors. In the Lights Championship, obviously, so this is right up his alley.
Yeah, I mean, in Lights Motocross, he won every championship that he entered, and unfortunately he hurt his knee, so didn't get a chance to do it in
Here
motocross.
comes Dungey, right after Hill for second. Got him.
There you go.
Wow, what a move there, huh?
Good
just
pass.
holding it.
Yeah, really good pass. Josh was cool, he could have been a little dirtier actually, and just kind of letting go. They're not letting go.
Yeah, but think about it. We're on lap 3 of 20, and this isn't the type of race where you can exert a bunch of energy messing around. You really have to ride within yourself and ride your race here tonight, because just getting through 20 laps on this treacherous Daytona track is going to be tough.
5 seconds already, the differential between first and second, Villopoto to Dungey. And 20 points the difference in the championship between the two.
Yeah, I mean, Villopoto has to win. Now you can. The guy is riding amazing tonight, and he has to string these wins with the points loss that he took last weekend.
Well, and especially the way that this race has started out, as we got 4 laps in the book now for Villopoto as he crosses the line with a 103.4, is that if he starts out the main event here this way and for whatever reason didn't win this thing, that would be a confidence crusher. Okay, big time.
but the race is on. We talked about it, Ricky, about how the 20 laps here is as tough a 20 laps that there is in Supercross anywhere. You said it comes down to fitness. So is Dungey going to be able to reel in Villopoto for the win? We're going to have to wait and see here.
Yeah, I mean, they're both in great shape. So, you know, it's going to, yeah.
Here comes Davi Millsaps. He's battling with Chisholm. They're fighting over 6th right now, and Millsaps has it on the Red Bull Honda.
Well, both riders had fantastic heat races, and Millsaps came through the pack. And remember, Chisholm at one point, he was leading. And so this is the best ride that we've seen Chisholm have this year.
Yeah, he's really got that Moto Concepts Yamaha working good tonight.
No doubt about it. And that team's made a lot of strides this year. They've been solid. They've moved machines, moved over, you know, with the ride Yamahas this year, had a lot of success. And just like these teams, they have to start, you know, building like a pyramid, or you stack pennies, however you want to call it. And that team's been solid.
Fight for 3rd, Kennard and Hill.
Oh, you see that line Kennard just took? Cut the inside. He's going to the inside of all the ruts, making the track a lot smoother.
Well, and one thing that you have to do here is you have to find fast lines that are smooth lines in the beginning, because later on in the race there won't be any more smooth lines, right, Ricky?
Oh, 100%, and that's, Jeff, you were always good at pointing and shooting.
Here he comes, Kennard right on him. Hill knows he's there. Big problems for Hill, and he's barely going to hold off on into the corner. And look at how wide he goes. Buys himself another 10th or 2 out in front, and eventually Kennard gets it done.
Nice pass. Textbook pass right there. He had the inside line, kept the momentum.
I mean, how impressed are you guys with Kennard stepping up there? He wasn't even sure that he was going to take this ride on the Red Bull Honda. He was okay, you know, I'm in the championship for the West, but, you know, I think I can do this.
Not a lot of guys do this like they did back in the day. You know, Kevin Windham used to race the lights and come back and win, you know, the Supercross class.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Eric Kehoe, team manager for Honda, I'm loving what I'm seeing, because Big Red hasn't been big and powerful in the last 2 years. Davi Millsaps has squeaked out a win this year, but they just have not been where they were in years past. Now the future's looking fairly bright.
Absolutely.
But I've also got to believe, if I'm some of the guys in the Honda camp as a rider, I'm getting a little nervous.
Now watch what Kennard does. He's outside, inside. He's looking for any way around. And look at this. He just scrubs at. Hill looks over at him, says, well, yeah, you got the line. But Hill's a little beaten up right now, okay?
Yeah.
So focus for Josh Hill. He needs to focus on solid 20 laps, not necessarily the position, but to gain some momentum and get out of here with a good, solid ride.
You watch Villopoto. This
oh man! Hey, and you guys,
that's Daytona right there.
Hey, and you guys want to see something here? Last lap around, Villopoto was actually 0.4 of a second quicker than Dungey, but with a little mistake like that, that could be, he could have just given up a half a second right there again.
Look at this section. Down this big boulevard, so brutal, and Villopoto, Aaron, soaking it up better than a ShamWow.
I don't even know what to say about this guy right now. He is actually riding like a whole different animal, but something to be said for Grant Langston going down. Ryan Villopoto might be out there riding for him, considering he has just recently leased property from Grant Langston, so maybe this one's going to be dedicated to him. But some people were concerned about Ryan Villopoto's fitness the last couple of weeks. Well, it looks like he's proving them wrong. His new trainer, Darren Stockton, said that he's very happy with where he's at. Since he hired him just a few weeks ago, they've made some vast improvements, and it's definitely showing here tonight.
Well, and he looks extremely strong on the bike. He's just dominating this track. Focus next time around there before the finish, he's going 3-2 out of the corner. Haven't seen anyone else do that here today. And so just look at the aggression he's riding with and the confidence.
You know what's standing out to me, Jeff? Based on what you talked about earlier in the night, you've got to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable here at Daytona. You can see the bike is moving all around for Villopoto, but his upper body, his head is always facing forward down the track.
Yeah, he's looking unreal tonight. Villopoto is without a doubt.
Battle for 10th here.
Tommy Hahn.
Yep, Hahn's in here.
And Ryan Morris.
Morris in his first big bike race.
There you go.
teammates at this point here. Both guys on the Rockstar candidate pet food Suzuki. Seen so much good stuff out of this team here, and you know, Tommy Hahn he's been running around this position all year long, but for
Kevin Windham here on the 14. He's fighting back here with Chisholm. That's over 7. Still reaching for it.
Morris has turned in a phenomenal ride. Sorry, I got stuck there. My mind just froze. I've already got mind pump here, and we're not even to the halfway point, and the fro is already pumping up.
Mind pump at Daytona.
I didn't think you get any kind of pump up. Oh, come on, man.
Hey, I tell you what, though, Kevin Windham right now, currently 7th, not quite the position that he might expect from himself, but didn't quite get the start he needed. We'll see if he can finish off the next half of this race here in a stronger position. Maybe get that Geico Power Sports Honda there up into the top 5.
Still to this day, man, that guy's style's just so awesome.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't know what good style is, you can look at him and just go, that's got to be it.
Well, yeah, and our viewers, you know, that just watched Porcel win, you know, the lights main. I mean, look how Windham and Porcel, they both stay so balanced on the bike. They ride the bike with their legs, don't use their arms a lot. They don't sit down a lot. But right now, he is pressuring Nick Way here.
Ricky, how much of that is something you can be taught, and how much is that just natural gift?
Oh, I mean, that's a little bit of it you can be taught, pardon me, but I mean, that guy is just full of natural talent. I mean, I'll put him up against anybody as far as natural talent.
Here he goes to the inside.
Look at he's going to pass him.
Way, got him.
See ya.
Whoa, look how deep that rut is. Did you guys see how much dirt came off of his foot pegs? Now, as this race progresses, everybody's going to come through there.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find a new line, and those lines on the inside are not going to flow around properly. They're going to have to dig a new one in here. Plenty of time as we're only halfway through.
10 down, 10 to go. Ricky, how long does it take you to design a track like this?
It didn't take me too long at all. But I can tell you right now, you need to look at these last couple lap times. We're halfway through the race. And
last lap around, Villopoto 105.7, Dungey 104.6, over a second faster than the leader. Also, what are we getting into? Halfway through the race. That's right.
Hey, and this is what that blue flag means.
Well, and this is a tough track because down the boulevard here, only the fast line funnels right to the middle. Okay, so if you catch lappers going down through there and you have to go wide, totally going to take you out of your rhythm. And hopefully they're watching the blue flags, knowing what's going on. But if not, it can be a real benefit for the 5.
You just saw Dungey go by in second, waiting for Kennard. Here he comes. Now that's the 67 actually coming through. Blows. Here he is. There's Kennard.
14 seconds back from Dungey, but still another podium ride in the making for Kennard.
What a great story.
If I'm Eric Kehoe and Team Honda,
sign him today.
Sign that thing
today. Get it done.
Right?
You don't want him going into free agency.
Going back to, you know, how long does it take me to design it? Well, I sit down and I think about what tracks race good. If you get a bad start, is there places you can pass? You know, I wish the passing was a little better on this now that I'm looking at it, so we'll have to switch it up next time. But I look at that and I try to look at would it be fun too, fun and challenging at the same time. So, you know, it takes a little while, longer than what you'd think.
And then how much of it is how do I torment my old friends?
None of it. It really isn't, because I want it to be fun, and I know these guys got the microphones so they can bash me. You know, I know a lot of them probably don't like me, but you know how it goes.
Well, and also another Supercross legend, Mark Barnett, is the man who actually puts this together. Him and his team actually do all of the dirt work for this, and he built all of your tracks, Ricky. Yeah.
Yep. He's built a lot of ours. Myself, James Stewart.
Josh Hill right there to 75, still in 5th. Windham is catching him, so now we're going to have a 2-rider battle over the final spot in the top 5.
Well, and this has been a struggle here for Josh Hill. As you see, he was right up there in 2nd. Windham working forward, Hill starting to creep back, and he's putting on a valiant ride, I must say, because you can see he is not giving up. but things just not clicking here the last couple weeks for the 75, and I hope that Hill can really get this thing straightened out. But right now, on lap 13 of 20 here at Daytona, I can tell you exactly what he's thinking. I just want to finish this 7 laps off.
Windham is really closing in now.
And I can say that, okay, because I've been in this position. Oh, look at that. It's so close that, Ricky, you might not have had a bad race here, but
I have.
I did. And when you're in this position like what Hill is, it's extremely frustrating, and it feels like you hit every bump on the track. Yeah. And these laps keep getting longer and longer, and it seems like you're like, when is the white flag going to fly?
Feels like it's 2-minute lap times, not 1 minute. But I bet you never ran off into the asphalt here, though, like I have.
I didn't run into any fans, no.
Here comes Nick Way now. He's the next challenger to Josh Hill. You saw Windham go by the 27, the green Kawasaki right there, the Monster Energy back machine. That's the one who's going to go after the San Manuel Yamaha of Hill next.
Well, and Hill's running about a 107 pace, maybe even a 108. His fastest was a 105. So, and everybody that's racing with is just a little bit quicker than that. Last time around, Hill was a 110. That's a difficult lap for him. He's going to have to keep it together mentally, because we may talk about being in the lead and having to struggle mentally, what that's all about. This is a different type altogether, because this is the most frustrating type.
And Way's giving him everything he can handle right now.
And in his defense, it was last week, in Atlanta, where he hurt his rib cage. And if anyone that's ever hurt those ribs, you know that once those things start to go, it's just like somebody poking you the whole time. It's tough to maintain, and you have to know that at this point, here 5 laps to go at Daytona, that this track's getting nasty, the heart rate's high.
Millsaps looks like he might have had a little trouble there.
Did he have a little tumble?
He was in 4th, and Way has gotten around him.
Yeah, he had a little tumble. He did look like he was coming up slow there, picking his bike up or something. We had already picked it up, but he was taking off slow.
Now Chisholm's Yamaha going after Hill.
Wow, back through the start straight. 5 laps to go here, and I'm really impressed with Nick Way here on this factory Kawasaki, the Monster Energy Kawasaki. It's interesting. I don't know the answer, but he's a fill-in rider for Chad Reed, and so if Chad Reed is possibly going to get back into the Supercross Championship in the next week or so, interesting to see what's going to happen with Nick Way, if he goes back to the privateer Kawasaki that he started the season on, or if he continues on with the factory team. Teammates here of this man, number 2, who is having just a phenomenal ride. Oh, there he found the inside.
Yeah, nice line.
Ooh, he jumped from the left all the way to the right there. I thought that was a mistake.
That was a sweet line.
Comfortable being uncomfortable. He's all over the track right now, zigzagging his way around.
This cat is riding aggressive, dude.
Yeah,
I'm liking it.
He hasn't backed off a bit. Nor has Dungey, who's right behind him.
He's
3.8 seconds back.
That man in second's running out of time, man. I don't know if he better twist the throttle. I don't think he's going to get him.
Hey, but he's 3.8 seconds with little less than 5 laps to go. We've seen Dungey finish off the 20-lap mains really strong this season.
Oh, man, look at that.
Nice little wheel
Run
there.
that rear wheel all the way through that whoop section.
4 laps to go, Ralph. He better get on it.
Well, lappers and everything, playing into it here. Look at Dungey, his feet coming off. Watch Villopoto here. This is him going into that final turn. And watch how there's a middle line and the far inside. He takes that. Watch when he comes off right here. He doubles this thing, and then it's the next section. Look how he cut all the way over to the right to miss some of the bumps, and now he's coming into this single thing there.
Yeah.
He's really working the track. Okay, he's not staying in what is considered the line. He's making his own lines, and in turn, look at this. He's dominating the field here today.
He just did it there.
Yeah, and he picked up more time, too. He went from 3.8 to 4.0 is the gap.
Yep, 4 seconds. He's been maintaining that pretty much all. He had 6 at one time, and he's really kept it at 4 the whole time. Look at this triple right here, what he's doing. That is so fast, man.
Triple out of that turn, yeah. That's impressive. And then see there, he was on the right, come back to the left, and now all the way back to the right again. You know, in my experience here at Daytona, you have to free your mind. You have to be able to visualize the track and get a flow. So you start to say, okay, the other riders and this track is developing rough spots here. I'm going to go there. And you notice he's totally switched it up as this main event has gone on.
Well, credit to Mike Fisher and his crew at the Kawasaki team. They've obviously given him a bike that's working well with what he needs it to do.
Oh, 100%. His bike always looks good to me. You know, his shock always looks good. The bike looks really good and balanced. And his team manager, Mike Fisher, used to do a lot of the production testing for Kawasaki. Yeah. He knows how to set up a bike. I think he's a really good asset to that team.
Well, waiting for Kennard too here, Jeff, just to let you know, we're watching the leaders go by. Here's Kennard.
Wow.
He's 28.7 seconds back, 25 of those to Dungey.
Well, that's what happens here. Kennard's putting on a fantastic race, but the leaders are even better. You know, they just are dominating here as Kennard just slices his way through the lappers.
Kennard does know how to win here at Daytona. Remember, we showed you Windham winning at the Tsunami Cross. Well, in the lights race that night, it was number 48 of Trey Kennard who sloshed his way to the top step of the podium.
Did you see his smile?
Watch this, he goes down at one point. He's smiling while he's racing, and this is the point when he was the happiest here.
Look at that. I mean, just sunk the bike, takes the win at Daytona, and went on to take the championship in the Lights East that year.
Well, this ride is going to be just as impressive if he gets on the podium here. His first trip on a big bike here to Daytona. Getting past Michael Byrne here.
Byrne is shown in 12th. Ivan Tedesco is out of it, by the way. He's had an incident and is visiting the Asterisk medical crew.
Yeah, he cut his finger pretty bad from what I'm hearing. Nothing broken or anything. He has to get some stitches. They're going to stitch him up and he'll be just fine. Hey, we'll be back for next week.
Toronto, the next stop, as we're on the last lap here. Down this long section, boy, they'll be talking about this part of the racetrack for a while.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that.
Windham. Well, it looked like Windham got by.
What was that again? What'd you call that again, Ralph?
Boulevard of broken dreams and busted bikes, and it was that for sure here tonight. Windham gonna miss a trip to the podium by one spot, it looks like.
Yep.
Running in 4th.
But working his way forward, another strong ride for the veteran. No doubt about it.
Villopoto celebrating. He's not going to put a huge dent points-wise into the title chase, but he's going to make a mark mentally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he looked so explosive tonight everywhere.
Well, and he's just looked so confident and dominant here today, and he was fired up.
So many historic names have won here, and now so has Ryan Villopoto. He adds his name to the list of winners here at the Daytona International Speedway by winning the Daytona Supercross by Honda.
What a ride for Villopoto.
Without a doubt, the biggest victory of his career. Ryan Villopoto's a winner at Daytona. Well, from Roger DeCoster to Bob Hanna, Marty Tripes, David Bailey, Ricky Johnson, Jeff Stanton, Mike Kudrowski, McGrath, Carmichael, Emig, Reed, Stewart, and Windham, now Villopoto. All winners here at the biggest Supercross on the tour. Dungey gets second, points lead still is his, but he sees that gap close up a little bit. Trey Kennard, how does he get out of the Honda hauler without a contract tonight? I don't know.
No doubt.
Windham and Millsaps all right there. So Honda really had a good night here.
Yeah.
They had 3 guys in the top 5.
Yeah, they did. They had a great night, without a doubt.
And Aaron, I'm sure you got a happy winner with you.
Oh, most definitely. He's not even smiling as big as what you would expect, but celebrating his 4th victory of the season. And Ryan, what a dominating performance that one was. It's as though you're riding out there tonight like you had nothing to lose.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 23 points down, 20 now, but I just gotta make it happen, really. And with a great start like that, pretty easy to do that, and I'm pumped. I just can't thank the Monster Energy, Kawasaki, Dunlop, Renthal, One Industries, Maxima, Oakley, Volcom, Thor, everybody, my girlfriend, everybody, jamming RC cars, and everybody, thank you.
After a tough crash last weekend, you said you took a little bit of time off. You got back on the bike. What was it like coming back to what is known as the toughest track in all of Supercross?
Yeah, I've never won this race, and it's awesome to finally win the Daytona Supercross. And after last weekend, with the crash and a little bit of problem with the bike, with the dirt and the silencer, it's like I said, it's all or nothing, and I just didn't make something happen. And just like tonight, with a great start and 20 solid laps, it's can't ask for more.
Terrific job from start to finish.
Let's take a look at those points now. And the gap is 20. Hill loses a bunch more. It's quickly turning into a two-horse race.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always said in the past, you find out who the couple contenders are when you leave here. You know who it's going to be behind. People are going to start to settle from here on out.
Jeff, let's take a look at the progressive pass of the race.
Well, this is an interesting shot right here. You see as Dungey just holds it wide here and gets around Hill on the outside, just more committed down a really fast, rough straightaway.
Wide on the throttle or wide on the line?
Both.
Okay.
Aaron?
Well, guys, Ryan Dungey makes his way back up to the podium yet again. Ryan, this track's always been a challenging one, but it looked as though you were being patient tonight and riding smart.
This track has been tough to me in the past, but tonight was awesome. I got to say right from the start, we got the bike set up awesome and just tried to put in our laps. Didn't get off to the best of the start, and I had to really have my work cut out for me, but Ryan Villopoto rode awesome, and I got to give it up for everybody. It was fun, and the track was awesome.
Congratulations, Ryan Dungey still remains your points leader.
On the next all-new Bull Run with Bill Goldberg, the game turns dirty when the police are called to search Team Lambo's car for illegal equipment. 3 teams will be thrown into the Thunderdome Challenge. Don't miss an all-new episode of Bull Run, Thursday night, 10 Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Back to Aaron.
Well, another impressive ride by Trey Kennard. Trey, they're saying that Honda would be fools to let you out of here tonight without signing a contract. What does that say for you?
Well, we got a long year, still in 2010. I got to worry about some lights races and a couple more 450 races. So, man, it was a great night. The track was just gnarly. The gnarliest track I've ever ridden in a Supercross, this late in the 450s. But got to take a stand for Lord Jesus Christ most of all, and the whole Honda Red Bull racing team, Fox, Dunlop Tires, and Geico Power Sports and Planet Fitness. It's a great opportunity. I'm stoked to be up here.
Hey, 2 podiums in a row. Are you ready for a full-on 450 career?
Well, I got to move up next year because the eligibility rules. So this has been a really good experience for me, and man, I'm thankful to be up here. It's been a fun experience, and hopefully it carries into next year.
Only 3 races into the Supercross class, looking comfortable already, guys.
Yeah, now when he gets done with all this big bike stuff, he does have to go back and try to fight Jake Weimer for that West Coast Lights Championship.
Well, and what this is doing is it's building his confidence. It's actually improving his fitness right now, but it's all about that confidence. That's a pretty big gap there on the West, though.
We will be in Toronto next week, live on Speed. Supercross at the Rogers Center, the old Sky Dome. Great place to go racing and a great opportunity for our fans in the Great White North to come out and join us and have a good time with Supercross. We'll be on with you live at 7 p.m. next Saturday night, so make sure you join us from there. Well, Ricky, you're back to the trucks.
Yep, I'm out of here, man, till Vegas.
Hey, best of luck with the amateur show tomorrow and the school on Monday.
Thank you very much, and thanks for letting me crash up here with you guys. Hopefully I didn't mess it up too bad.
It's been a blast, as always.
For Aaron Bates, Jeff Emick, and Ricky Carmichael, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Daytona. Congratulations to Christoph Purcell and Ryan Villopoto.